Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money channel. So it's looking like Bitcoin did see a bit of a pump yesterday, guys. Yesterday, about 24 hours ago, we were trading in and around $60,700 per coin. And now, guys, we're up to $64,100. So it's funny, this is the daily chart, by the way. When we're looking at the daily, you can see yesterday we did see a lot of activity here. But today it's kind of, really kind of slowing down. If I throw this on the hourly, you guys can see we did actually hit a high yesterday evening of, just shy of $65,000. I'm guessing that was the psychological level that, certain traders saw as a selling opportunity. And then it was cascading down a little bit in and around 63.8. Then it came back up, came back down, and now it's back up again. So we aren't seeing that much activity on the daily for, at least for right now. But guys, this is a good sign. Let's throw it back on the daily here. It's a good sign we are getting back up to this initial level here that we saw only about a month ago, back up to $70,000, another psychological level. So this is the goal now, I think, the unofficial, unspoken goal, getting up above $70,000, which would be the beginning, finding significant support above there. So if we can do something like this and find support above that $70,000 mark and then shoot straight up above all-time high, guys, that is going to get the crypto market back up, rocking and rolling. You can see here, sentiment is up by a few points, still in neutral territory, but is up to 56. The market cap is up to $2.26 trillion, so that's up by 4.63%. 24-hour volume, that's up to 87.13 billion, guys. That's up 52.18%. Bitcoin dominance still hanging on there, 56%. A lot of this money is going into Bitcoin. Although, guys, the altcoins did see a bit of a surge too. So although Bitcoin is up 5.35% in the last 24 hours, you can see altcoins, certain ones. Solana is doing very well, 9.62%. We've got XRP at 2.74% to the upside. Toncoin is at 2.82 to the upside. Dogecoin is up to 5.75%. We got some other, big movers here like... what else is moving here? Shipcoin up over 8%. We got the Near Protocol up over 8% too. So Pepe 13.5. So guys, cryptocurrencies regaining steam, regaining traction. Let's take a look at the total 3 market. So you can even see here on the daily total 3, it was ripping yesterday and today, same kind of trading pattern as we're seeing, with Bitcoin. Of course, Bitcoin is still the leader of the pack. XRP, guys, up above 60 cents yet again, actually up near 61.5 cents as of the time of this recording. So we are seeing renewed positivity in the crypto space. I think people are feeling a little bit more confident today, maybe more confident than they were yesterday. Charting guy here posting this. Bitcoin, so he is predicting the bull cycle top here, January 20th, 2025. That's very, very specific, I gotta say. March 22nd, 2025. So in and around that area there. Is what he's saying. So late January to late March 2025, and he is projecting a $110,000 to $150,000 Bitcoin. And then he's saying the bear cycle bottom will begin in spring 2026. So I think personally it's too soon to talk about the bear cycle in 2026. Right now we are trying to identify the top, and to be honest with you, I think he's a little early here. For more information on my predictions, where I think the top is going to be, guys, we're going to be getting into a lot of these concepts in the coming weeks over there at patreon.com/workingmoneychannel. You can follow me. It is only $5 a month. I have purposely done this, guys, because I know guys out there are charging, some are charging upwards of $100 a month. I wanted to keep it affordable because I want you guys to follow throughout. I want you guys to see what I'm doing this trading round. And, hopefully we've learned some things in the last bull run. We're going to implement them for this bull run. We're going to target that top, and we are all going to be on the right side of the trade. We're not going to FOMO in like all those other people. We're going to do this right together. So if you want to follow me, patreon.com/workingmoneychannel. Let's get back to this chart. So he's saying basically the projection here, what he's looking at are fractal patterns from the last bull cycle. I think that there are, some other indicators that we do have to consider when we think about, how the market has moved in the past, where it could go in the future. I think it is a little early, January to March 2025. I mean, that is not to say that we won't see that first bullish impulse move for Bitcoin. Remember, guys, we're still only at all-time high here, pretty much just kind of bouncing around. In former bull runs, the all-time high, like let's take the 2013, actually, no, let's take this one here. Let's take the most recent one from 2018 to get back up to all-time high. We did see that retracement period. And then we didn't see Bitcoin really top for a little while after that. That would have been this point here. Now, altcoins did see their high before that. It was different for this bull run over here, though, guys. We saw altcoins follow Bitcoin. When Bitcoin topped in December 2017, we did see the altcoins all kind of tend to top in and around January 2018. So it's going to be an interesting run. There are certainly other metrics that I am keeping my eye on. But anyway, wanted to thank Charting Guy for posting that. XRP Crypto Wolf bringing this to our attention. So we are still seeing XRP whale activity rising, guys. Multiple anonymous XRP transfers have been detected on chain as the XRP community remains stunned. Moreover, the timing of these transactions is crucial as XRP is currently aiming to kickstart a huge price rally. Well, we've been coiling up for a while, and I am expecting this coin to move too. On-chain tracking service Whale Alert has shared details about these XRP transactions. In the first transfer, more than 102 million XRP were transferred from an unknown crypto wallet to another unknown wallet. This transaction was worth about $61 million as the current XRP price is sitting in and around, or was sitting in and around 60 cents. In the second transfer, another XRP whale moved over 26 million XRP to Mexico-based crypto exchange BITRUE. So that could have been for ODL. We don't actually know. There is no other indication about the wallets. But in the last transfer, the whale transferred just over 26 million XRP to European crypto exchange Bitstamp. This transaction was valued over $15 million. So it actually does seem like pretty typical movements for this type of quantity of XRP. ODL transfers, there is definitely a purpose for those. We're going to talk a little more about ODL, the AMMs, and how, even though we're not seeing XRP price move today, well, there is some inclination that it will in the future, and maybe sooner than we think, guys, just based on what we're seeing here in the court. So this just came out, too, from Bill Morgan, the decision in the SEC versus Kraken case today. Okay, it's another endorsement of Judge Torres' reasoning in the SEC Ripple case that the token itself is not a security. So this just came out in the United States, okay, with regards to the Kraken case against the SEC. Part of Kraken's argument in favor of a stricter understanding of what qualifies as an investment contract may arise from the SEC's inconsistent manner of discussing the assets in question. Sometimes the SEC strays into alleging that crypto assets themselves, as in the individual tokens bought, sold, and traded on Kraken, are investment contracts. Kraken is correct that other courts have rejected this perspective. And then they say a digital asset is not in and of itself an investment contract under Howey. That was from the Terraform case. The court need not restrict its Howey analysis to whether the tokens themselves, apart from any of the related various investment protocols, constitute investment contracts. The SEC confuses its case by referring to the assets at issue as crypto asset securities, which I think is a kind of a stupid way to classify these things. There's no such thing as a crypto asset security throughout its complaint. Okay, so this was the statement here, although the judges are, now that more precedent is coming in from other court cases, they're kind of realizing, okay, we can't, just make these distinctions. We can't just willy-nilly go on and say, okay, this does not comply, this does not comply. What the SEC wanted to do was there were a handful of cryptocurrencies. I don't know if the list is here somewhere, but a handful of cryptos. Oh, here it is from the next tweet from Meta Lawman. ADA, Algorand, Atom, Filecoin, Flow, ICP, Mana, Matic, Near, OMG, and Solana. They wanted to classify all these as investment contracts. So here's what Meta Lawman, here's what he says. Here's his take on the court case. To put the case in proper context, remember there are no allegations that Kraken defrauded anyone. So we have to remember that first. The crux of the case relies in these 11 cryptos that I just mentioned. As I read the opinion, I sympathized with the judge as he had to sift through a lot of conflicting crypto case law that has developed as a consequence of the SEC's scattered, regulated by enforcement approach. But we can see here the judge did align himself with the reasoning in the Ripple case. The judge rejected the major questions doctrine defense. Quoting another case, he wrote, "The cryptocurrency industry falls far short of being a portion of the American economy bearing vast economic and political significance." That's interesting. I wonder whether he noticed the recent headlines declaring that the crypto industry is the single largest political contributor in the land. Ultimately, the judge concluded that the binding Ninth Circuit case left him with little choice but to allow the case to move forward at this point. So winning a motion to dismiss at the outset of the case is hard. This means that the case will move on to discovery directed at the question of whether the 11 tokens in the case traded as investment contracts. This discovery and potential trial will happen without the presence of the 11 token issuers as parties in the case. So that's Not great, but well, I guess we'll see what happens there. My overall impression, though, is that the judge felt that the SEC did satisfy the requirements of Howey at the early stage, and that is crucial, okay, at the early stage. But he is not necessarily convinced that the SEC will ultimately be able to prove sufficient facts to show that these tokens actually traded as investment contracts. So almost like entrapping the SEC to take it further, waste their time, and then realize, okay, SEC, you cannot prove this. So no, we're now going to classify these 11 cryptocurrencies similarly to what they did for Ripple. I guess just depending on all their use cases, it might be a little different. But guys, this is how it goes. You know, these lawsuits are going to take their time in court, as well, the XRP community certainly knows from the Ripple SEC case. Nevertheless, wanted to thank Meta Lawman there and Bill Morgan for posting that. Now, guys, I also happen to see this with regards to Ripple partner TerraPay. They've just partnered up with another company, Papara, for Turkish cross-border payments. Ripple partner TerraPay has announced a new partnership with Turkey-based fintech Papara. The partnership is aimed at reshaping the landscape of money movement. With the strategic alliance, TerraPay and Papara are set to provide nearly 17 million Papara wallet users with a secure, simple, and seamless way to transfer money worldwide. So keeping along those same lines, the cross-border payments, this time in the country of Turkey. So TerraPay recently partnered with Bank Colombia, looking to have the same impact in Colombia as they do now have in Turkey. In the coming months, TerraPay and Papara will work closely to roll out their cross-border payment solutions, providing Papara users with access to the global financial landscape. And so I'm not too familiar with the Turkish payment landscape, although basically everywhere around the world needs to modernize, and it's looking like Turkey is doing just that with this new Ripple partner payment, their local company Papara and TerraPay. So down here it says the digital payments market in Turkey is anticipated to witness remarkable growth. It seems like that's just the same anywhere. This is projected at 15.78% from 2023 to 2027. And so, the Western world, we already kind of have our infrastructure in place when it comes to payments. And, we don't generally, I guess, maybe we'll see a bit of a market growth. But, in some of these other countries, namely Africa, I feel like Africa is a continent where, the people of Africa, they're seeing a lot of growth because they have not, come to the point where we are in terms of, money movement and even just, having money to move. So, wealth is growing. There's going to be more of a need for cross-border payments. And so, this kind of electronic technological solution, I think, is just becoming more ubiquitous around the world. And so Papara is the market leader in Turkey currently. And they've obviously realized they do have to integrate with TerraPay's RippleNet integrated technology and global network. And so this is complemented by its compliance capabilities. Papara aims not only to bolster its financial offerings, but also to fuel its future expansion initiatives. Guys, it's the same story time and time again. This time in Turkey, we are now seeing a Ripple partner, TerraPay, partner up with the local payment provider Papara to provide more efficient, cost-effective cross-border payments globally. So some great news there coming out of Turkey. Gonna keep moving along. We got a lot today. Wrath of Kahneman here posting this. So Ripple.com apparently just recently updated their website. As I did discuss the other day, we did see new partnerships scrolling at the bottom there. We were wondering about the Bank of America partnership. If you guys didn't see the video I did on that, I'll link it up here in the top right-hand corner. With Medico, though, they've added BBVA and DZ Bank to the customer Chiron. Still no explicit rationale, though, provided for who's on. Solutions reflect three clear prongs, though, okay? Payments, custody, and stablecoins. Interesting that banks are back on the menu. So we have use cases, we have crypto businesses, some of the customers there, and the solutions that Ripple is now focused on. Remember, it was just payments for a very, very long time. But of course, now they've expanded. Custody is a big thing with Medico. Stablecoins, obviously, their RLUSD, which is going to be likely released at the end of the year, at least according to Ripple themselves. So that is also some interesting news. Wanted to thank the Wrath of Kahneman for posting that. With regards to XRP Ledger news, devs are working hard to prevent dusting attacks. This one from Krypton Writer here on Twitter. Absolutely brilliant idea, since even very low minimum incoming amounts configured, like 0.01 XRP, will already make dusting attacks financially unsustainable. So he just posted this new implementation for those of you guys who are more developer focused. Excited to share a new feature proposal. This is the XLS76, inspired by an idea from community member Khaled Al-Wadi. Again, I don't know if you guys have self-custody wallets or whatever, but sometimes I noticed in my self-custody wallet, I do see some very, very small amounts of XRP being added, being dropped into my wallet. And so what they'll do is they'll add a memo and they want me to click on a link, and it's spam. It's basically just to get your attention, but it's all spam. So he continues by saying here, all I did was evaluate it and write it up. The feature is simple yet powerful. It lets you set a minimum incoming XRP amount to prevent annoying dusting attacks. It's totally optional. Should you add a minimal overhead to Ripple and solved a problem many have faced, including myself. If you want to see this feature implemented, then you can go and check it out at GitHub there. I will link this in the description for you guys if you're interested. Arthur here saying, this is a nice feature to have. How would this work with AMM transactions where a user swaps a tiny amount of tokens for XRP? So we might see some problems with this in the future, especially if these small amounts, especially if we're assuming XRP is going to get to such a high amount that the small amounts will be worth a few bucks maybe at a point in time. We don't know really yet. Maybe that is a problem for future developers to solve. I don't know. It is a good question, but it is good to get feedback on GitHub or we will lose track of it, says Chris here. So, for now, this is working. I mean, XRP is trading at 60 cents, 61.5 cents. But guys, that is going to change. Remember, with more utility, with more use cases, we are going to see XRP really start to move. This one coming from Mr. Man here. Ripple is going for interoperability through XRP. And this is Rahul Advani explaining how that is going to happen. Listen to this.
Central bank creates their own digital currency without interoperability in mind. We'll just be recreating the same siloed financial system that already exists today. CBDCs must be able to connect with other domestic services as well as with each other. And this is where neutral bridge currencies like XRP, which is an open source, public, decentralized digital asset, will play a key role. Central banks that prioritize interoperability with global payment systems will ultimately be successful as end users will benefit from frictionless transactions. Now here at Ripple, we've built a CBDC private ledger that is based on the same blockchain technology that powers the XRP ledger, which was built for payments and designed for issuing currencies. Each central bank will have complete sovereignty and ability to customize their CBDC based on their own unique privacy and policy requirements. Neutral bridge currencies like XRP, which is an open source, public, and decentralized digital asset, will play a key role in facilitating such interoperability. Ripple recently partnered with Bhutan's central bank, the Royal Monetary Authority, to pilot a CBDC using Ripple's CBDC private ledger. The Royal Monetary Authority will pilot retail, cross-border, and wholesale payment use cases for a digital Nultrum to increase financial inclusion in the country to 85%. With few specialized financial institutions, only an estimated 64% of the adult population in Bhutan has a formal savings account, while a mere 16% has access to credit. This system will be built atop Bhutan's existing payments infrastructure, allowing for experimentation of a CBDC while ensuring efficient and cost-effective cross-border transfers. Given the close relationship between India and Bhutan, this could be a good opportunity for the RBI. Since the Nultrum is pegged 1:1 with the Indian rupee, a digital Nultrum will be a close, if not identical representation of a digital rupee, and can provide the RBI with a very useful insight into the design and distribution of a digital rupee.
So in this particular example, I mean, it does sound like it is good for Bhutan specifically, but of course, XRP utility is going to be utilized around the world. So Rahul Advani here talking about CBDCs in particular. But guys, what's going to bolster the liquidity? I mean, you can use a stablecoin in an isolated setting, but ultimately, if you're going to be making more complicated transfers, you do need XRP on the back end to serve as that converting currency, that bridge currency that bridges all these different types of, whether it's a stablecoin or whether it's a tokenized asset or whether it's anything really, you're going to need XRP to move that. So Rahul Advani explaining that in this clip here, courtesy of Mr. Man on Twitter. Now, guys, ODL is to increase eventually. Right now, we're seeing smaller countries using ODL products. We're seeing XRP move to ODL exchanges. And so Mikkel came out. He's a notable wealth advisor and market commentator. He recently took to social media to dispel what he considers to be persistent misinformation. According to Mikkel, the notion that Ripple's ODL product does not affect XRP price has flaws. So Mikkel did come out in this video, which I will link in the description of this video here. He says ODL will increase the price of XRP. That is a fact. Santosumo Saba here did respond though. Ripple reply to the SEC court document. ODL is price neutral. So what is the truth here? Bob Way left Ripple before ODL flow was changed to a Ripple managed wallet. She does screen grab the court document here. Most ODL transactions are demand neutral, which means the price of XRP is not, in fact, impacted. So, this has gotten a lot of people worried, a lot of people upset, a lot of people wondering what is going to happen. To get Mikkel's point of view, I will link this so you guys can watch his video. But guys, there's more to this, okay? We got to think about the technology in terms of what it means for the overarching picture. I mean, ODL is just one part of this, and I'm going to be getting back to ODL, on-demand liquidity, in a second here. Here's Black Swan Capitalist Versant, okay? This is just one perspective. Many still don't realize how this technology is being integrated and leveraged by governments and financial institutions. Listen to this.
One of the biggest myths I would like to debunk is really the idea that XRP will never, first of all, gain traction or that its price will always remain stagnant. XRP, people forget, is the backbone of liquidity in these markets. And it's really what connects, bridges, and even stabilizes currencies. So for XRP to effectively serve its purpose, the price has to be high. And many people don't understand this. And I firmly believe that the IMF is really playing a key role in ensuring this. There's a lot happening behind the scenes that the general public is not aware of. So think of it like this. Central banks are sitting at the table, they're setting the stage, agreeing on a price before it's fully introduced into the marketplace. Because for XRP to be utilized to move trillions and trillions of dollars between financial institutions, it's going to burn, and that will reduce its supply. And this is all about supply and demand. So the burn rate really ensures that XRP's value can only increase as it becomes more integrated into the global financial system. Another point that really needs clarification is the concept of a gold-backed XRP. Now, over the years, personally, I've said a lot of things, and I want people to understand that I've learned as I've gone about this, there is still a chance that XRP could be tied to gold, functioning really as a form of a digital gold for institutions that lack the necessary physical gold reserves to meet the Basel III requirements by the Bank of International Settlements. So XRP's design was for infinite scalability, and as a world reserve settlement mechanism, which it is actually intended to do, or replace the dollar's functionality. So I want people to understand the devil's in the detail. It's designed to replace the functionality of the dollar, not eliminate the dollar. And people often fail to really understand this because they don't truly understand how the technology works, but also how the traditional financial system works. And that's why my brother and I have tried so hard to bridge these two together. My final thought is that XRP could enable a gold-backed future through the stable coins that are being built on the XRP ledger. And that's what we see happening. So like I said, I learn as I go. And these stable coins, where do you think they derive their liquidity directly from? It's XRP through on-demand liquidity. Yet so many in the space truly fail to see the connection and even underestimate the profound impact that XRP is having on the global financial system.
So Versant here giving us a bit of a more overarching picture, I guess, with regards to XRP liquidity, the global financial system. He did mention ODL there at the end. And so, I mean, ODL has been online now for a couple of years. Why aren't we seeing XRP price move higher? Well, maybe it's just not at that tipping point yet, guys. Anders posting this. It seems the XRP chat forum is not available anymore. So as a side note, XRP chat used to be the preeminent chatting location for the XRP community, and that is apparently now offline. I don't know why. Maybe because a lot of us have moved over to Twitter or the X platform, whatever you want to call it. He says, I will post, in my opinion, an invaluable post by Bob Way. Okay, this was something Bob Way posted years ago, and he was talking about market makers in particular. Bob Way is a former employee at Ripple. If you want to know how ODL volume can increase the price of XRP, read this. So, guys, this is from a former employee at Ripple discussing exactly how this could happen and how they were planning for it to happen in the future. The secret is in market makers, not the flow itself, in my opinion. He says, if there is someone you should listen to, it is Bob Way. He worked directly at Ripple regarding these issues. He was one of the main original developers there. It's a long read, 27 slides, but I compiled the most important points below. So I will link this in the description of the video for you guys. This is the original tweet from October 2022 that Anders posted with all 27 slides. But guys, here it is. So there are XRP market makers. They're key to XRP price appreciation. Market makers, so this is the AMM we're talking about, don't seem like long-term holders since they're continuously selling and buying XRP all the time. Only half understand the situation. If you want to sell XRP, you need to hold it first. And if you want to sell XRP forever, you need to hold XRP forever. So obviously that makes sense at a very surface level. Because market makers buy back whatever XRP they sell, this is key. A market maker is always selling XRP for a slightly higher price than the price they buy. Obviously, they want to turn a profit. This is the spread. Market makers' profits scale with payment volume rather than with XRP price changes. So they have a bit of a different incentive there. A profitable AMM in, let's say, XRP to USD wants to keep trading that corridor forever, so they need to keep holding XRP forever. A market maker's profit scales up with increased payment volume. So the more payment volume there is, obviously they make more money. So doubling payment volume can support twice as many market makers at the same return on investment, or ROI. Think about this in relation to increased ODL volume. Higher payment volume will attract more market makers. More XRP market makers entering the market means more market makers are needed to buy a big pile of XRP. And this is where it comes back to the supply and demand. If they need more XRP, guys, they will be buying more XRP, and that, in effect, the indirect way of how the XRP price will go up. Bob Way also mentions the patent or the algorithm in detail that would favor market makers at the expense of arbitrageurs, which the AMM does. I do believe this is ultimately the AMM that was chosen to be implemented. Even though it's not a patent, Bob wrote that he's not sure they would implement this exact algorithm, but something similar. To quote him, "I don't expect Ripple to deploy this algorithm without telling people about it. The whole point is to encourage market maker competition, so doing it secretly would be self-defeating. I really have no idea if they will have to use an opt-in sign-in process or not. I personally think that actually makes the algorithm seem slightly less compelling. I prefer that everyone can participate, even if they are synonymous or anonymous, maybe he meant to say. That has a ring of fairness to my ears." So, not financial advice, but guys, this is, in fact, how we will get the price of XRP higher through the AMMs. I know it sounds a little complicated, but, this is just one way of doing it, maybe to, kind of put a lid on this idea that, yes, although we're not seeing price appreciation with ODL right now, it could, in fact, and will, in fact, happen once that does ramp up. Remember, there is only 14.68 million total AMM value locked up right now. Guys, that does need to increase before we see the price of XRP really appreciate. Personally, I'm not waiting for that. I'm waiting for this spec market. I think that'll happen much sooner. I'm going to be selling some, but I'm still going to be holding for the long term. For more information on a more detailed plan of what I'm doing, you can follow me at patreon.com/workingmoneychannel. But please subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.